It's my pleasure to welcome everyone here today, and I'm proud to say this is our second annual Donor Recognition Luncheon, and we have grown from our first program that we did last year. So I welcome the students, I welcome the donors, I welcome the faculty and staff who are in attendance here today, and we thank you for your support. And right now, it's my pleasure to introduce our president, Dr. Paul Marion.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, welcome. Thanks for being here today. As all of you know, a college education is expensive. A high-quality education is especially expensive, and Tiffin University is committed to making sure that our students get a high-quality education. Being an independent or private institution, of course, we don't have the state taxpayer subsidy that state universities and community colleges are able to provide. So at least the sticker price for a high-quality private college education is not within reach of many families in the U.S. So it's very important that we find every way possible to make higher education affordable in general, and particularly at Tiffin University, to be sure that students who can benefit from our high-quality education have that opportunity. So one way that makes that available is through the generosity of donors like you who've endowed student scholarships. And I'm sure that there are some students in the room here who might not be at Tiffin University if it weren't for the scholarship that some of you have donated to Tiffin University. So this is a great opportunity for the recipients of those scholarships and the donors to have a chance to meet each other, to say thank you. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of the students, staff, and faculty of Tiffin University to the donors for what you've done in your generosity in helping our students achieve that high-quality education that will prepare them for productive and satisfying lives of service, excellence, and leadership. Thank you.
So this luncheon serves as a recognition to our donors, a recognition of your support and the strength and value that you bring to the university in support of our students. It's a chance for us to thank you for that support. It's a chance for us to acknowledge through the students' words, as Dr. Marion said, your support and how far that goes in supporting the students in their endeavors on the academic side of the house. It also provides an opportunity for our students to thank you personally, for them to let you know their story, where they're from, what they're majoring in, and what the impact of the university has had on them. So that's what today is about. It's about friend building, it's about relationship building, and it's about telling your story. Because students, you never know who's in this room that might be able to impact your life down the road. So remember that. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce for our invocation a friend, mentor, all-around great guy, Dr. John Miller.
If they didn't let me pray, there's no way I'd ever made it to a scholarship banquet. Trust me on that one. Shall we bow our heads? We come this morning, Father, mindful of all of the gifts that you have given us in our lives, for the opportunities that you have given us to serve, for the opportunities that you have given us to return, for the opportunities you've given us to rejoice. We thank you for these young people who have come to be with us today, and for the work that they are doing here and for the work that they will do in the future. We thank you for the men and women who have contributed of their time and talent and resources to help provide an education. And we thank you for this place and what it means to all of us. Amen.
Each year we have a student who comes up and talks about his or her experiences and how important these scholarships are to the students. And this year we're lucky enough to have a junior from Sycamore, Ohio, and I verified this. Grant is still carrying a 4.0 GPA through this semester at Tiffin University. Again, junior Grant Eckleberry.
Good afternoon. Like you introduced me, my name is Grant Eckleberry, and I'm a junior here at Tiffin University, and I'm studying marketing. Before I get too far along, I'd first like to thank the Financial Aid Office for giving me the opportunity to speak today. But most importantly, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to all the donors in the room who have continued to make the Endowment Scholarship Program here at Tiffin University possible. Without your generous donations, many students like myself would not have the opportunity to pursue a degree here, and for that I am truly thankful. When it comes to choosing an institution of higher education, there are many factors that play into every student's decision. What programs are offered, the cost of tuition, how close to home for some, and for others, how far from home. All play key roles in this choice. When I tell people why I chose Tiffin University, I have to laugh and start by saying, I didn't. As bizarre as that sounds, it's very true. When I graduated from high school, I had all intentions of attending another institution. The dorm room was picked out, my classes were scheduled, everyone in my family had matching t-shirts and apparel to support my decision. But then 2 weeks before classes were scheduled to start, I came here to Tiffin University. I had to pick up transcripts to show my transfer credit that I took in high school. I talked with a staff member. That simple conversation turned into a campus tour, meeting with my academic advisor, and acceptance to TU all in the same day. You can only imagine my parents' face when I got home. Naturally, when I tell the story, people ask me why. I realized soon after I graduated high school that I wanted to pay for college on my own. That was just a personal goal. I wanted to attend a school that was known for their business program. The institution that I had originally selected would not allow for either of those dreams to be fulfilled, and it quickly proved itself that it was an illogical decision to go to that school. So I took a chance, and it turned out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made. At Tiffin University, I have had opportunities that I would never have had anywhere else. By commuting, I've had the opportunity to coach high school athletics and to participate in many of the activities in my local community, all while still enjoying the opportunities that Tiffin University has to offer. I've met people from all over the globe, made lasting friendships, and received an education that will stay with me forever. I know that my experiences at TU have provided me with the necessary tools needed to succeed in the future, wherever it may lead. After graduating, I hope to remain here at Tiffin University and pursue a master's degree in business administration. My jobs on campus in student affairs and international admissions have given me the opportunity to see how a college operates behind the scenes, and it's greatly interested me. I feel that a career in the administrative side of higher education would suit me well. Tiffin University's affordability has put me in a position where I can successfully pay for my undergraduate degree without being stricken by a large debt. This will allow me to have a brighter future and will put me into a better position to reach my goal of acquiring a master's degree. Of course, this would not have been possible if I would not have received a little help along the way. I was ecstatic when I found out that I had been awarded the Zahn Endowment Scholarship. I knew it would greatly aid me in my pursuit of my goal to pay for college on my own. For me, receiving a scholarship means that somebody has the confidence to support you in the pursuit of your goals and that they want to see you succeed. To the Zahn family, I am truly grateful for your support. Before I close, I want to share a quick story. At the recent international dinner, one of the Chinese performers said that he was dedicating his act to his father, in honor of their shared dream to study abroad. While sitting there at the dinner, I was reminded that everyone comes to college with a dream. For me, it was to pay for school on my own, but for others, it's to be the first family member to attend school, to be the first to play a college sport, or to get that education to land the job of their choice. Regardless of the dream, everyone will need a little help along the way. Scholarships provide the assistance that is necessary to make many of these dreams possible. To the donors in the room, I want to say thank you again for helping the dreams of the students here today possible. And to the students, I think the donors deserve a round of applause. Thank you.
Thanks, Grant. Before we introduce our keynote speaker today, I'd like to introduce somebody he brought with him. Bella, you want to stand up? Can you wave to everybody? This is Bella Petrus. Bella's 5 years old, and she's making her very first official visit to Tiffin University. Well, I've got to meet Bobby over the last several years as we worked on putting together an endowed scholarship along with Vicki, our Director of Alumni Affairs, and Bobby's been a joy to work with. He has become the epitome of what it means to be a young, loyal alumni donor at Tiffin. And I just want to give you some of the background on Bobby Petrus. Class of 2003. Played football, ran track, and was an RA here at the university. In 2008, he and his sister formed Lamplight Communities, an association of 5 assisted living and skilled nursing homes in Indiana and Ohio, where he serves as Chief Operating Officer. In 2010, Bobby and his partner formed Platinum Purchasing, a procurement management company that manages approximately $18 million in annual spending. Bobby is actively involved in the communities where he serves through memberships in various chambers of commerce and assisted living associations. Bobby is also the CEO of Mad Apple Gym, moved to a new location 6 months ago. Joe and I had the opportunity to go visit him in Fort Wayne, and it is one heck of a facility that he's created in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Bobby remains connected to Tiffin University through mentoring and networking activities for our students. And I can't tell you guys this enough. You want to connect with this guy. He's a young, energetic entrepreneur who knows how to make things happen because he knows the connections and what it takes to succeed. Bobby established the Aaron Syack Memorial Golf Outing, an annual event during homecoming each year, which raises scholarship funds for the Aaron Syack Memorial Scholarship, which we will be, for the first time, giving that scholarship out next year at this time. 3 years it took us to raise the minimum requirement amount, and we actually raised more than that amount. So it's my pleasure, privilege, and my friend, to introduce my friend, the keynote speaker, Bobby Petrus.
Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I will not be as organized as the last guy, I'll tell you that right now. So I'm just going to talk for about 5 or 7 minutes until you guys get bored and kick me out. Funny enough, I didn't choose Tiffin either. I went to the University of Findlay my freshman year, and I don't really know what I wanted to do. I went there to play football. I dated a girl in Bowling Green, and we got a new coach. And I said, I gotta find a new team. I didn't really like the new coach, and so I started looking around. Never heard of Tiffin before, and I came here one day in the middle of the summer, and old football coach had me go into the gym and throw passes to a guy. It might have even been you, I don't know. I'm throwing like 10, 15-yard passes, and the next thing I know, I'm going over and I got offered a scholarship, and I'm like, okay. Never really did a tour. You know, I was a criminal justice major at Findlay. I knew Tiffin had a really good criminal justice program. But that's how I got here, and I came up here and really fit in. Can't say enough good things about the school. Now, in the middle of all this, September 11th happened, and my goal, or what I wanted to do, was go into the Army or something like that, and then work in the work in the CIA. And then I realized I really didn't want to go to war, and I went with my academic advisor, and he's like, hey, you get really good grades in your business classes. Maybe this would be a good fit for you. And I kind of took a step back and talked to my parents and realized that what I always wanted to do is I wanted to be a professional football player, like I think any kid that puts a helmet on. But more importantly, what I always talked about was after I was done playing football and how I would give back to my community and how I would maybe open a restaurant or something like that. So I realized that being a football player wasn't really what I wanted to do. Giving back was something that I wanted to do. And I think that's kind of where I ended up here. So, Ron had talked about the Aaron Syak Scholarship. So Aaron is a guy that I played football with here in college. And I can tell you in college, and Jeremy could probably vouch for this, he's probably the last person that we would have thought, yeah, we'll make a scholarship for this guy one day. So if any of you are familiar with an old football player named Brian Bosworth, goes by the moniker the Boz. Well, Aaron Syak was the Boz of Tiffin. Had a personality bigger than this room. And anybody that got to know Aaron quickly fell in love with the guy, guys and girls alike. And I'm no exception to that. And we became really good friends, just loyal as they come. And to tell you a little bit about Aaron was just a great athlete. We bonded well because he was a transfer too. He went to a school called Pittsburgh State. Pittsburgh State traditionally had one of the best Division II football schools in the program. I came from Findlay. Findlay had a really good football tradition. And so we kind of always bonded off, we came from these other schools, we're trying to fit in. Well, Aaron was also, captain of the football team and captain of extracurricular activities. And so just always had friends around him. Well, after school, Aaron had the same idea that I had. Aaron said, I'm going to get a criminal justice degree. I'm going to go into the armed forces. And he ended up becoming an Army Ranger. And Aaron served admirably. He did, I think, 2 or 3 different tours. When he came home, he was doing a training exercise. He fell out of a helicopter and he broke a couple of his vertebrae. Through that, he got surgery. And after the surgery, he got addicted to painkillers, which happens to a lot of our vets. Kicked it a couple of times. Unfortunately, got back on it, and that led into another drug addiction. And so one day, and I stayed in contact with Aaron, one day I get a call from Aaron, and it's very similar to if you ever watched the TV show where they're called Intervention, and it's, hey, my mom's car broke down, and I need money for this, and I need to have it today. If you have to wire me the money today, and I knew. So I called a couple of guys that we played with, and they had gotten similar calls, and I said, Aaron, I'm going to give you the money because I'd give you the money anyway, but I know what it's for, and this is the last time we're going to talk. And unfortunately, that was the last time I talked to my friend, and we were good friends. About 7 or 8 months later, he overdosed while was staying at one of our friends' house. So it drove me nuts because there's a couple of times I tried to interact and tried to get him to move to Fort Wayne to come work for me, and it didn't work out. But I've always been the kind of guy that doesn't look back and dwell on what I didn't do. I always look back I always look forward and say, what can I do now? And so I'd reached out to Aaron's mom, who I'd never met before, even when we were at college, and said, why don't we start something up? And the first thing that came to me was a golf outing. In my business in healthcare, we do golf outings all the time. And really, there are 2 things. 1, a good way to raise money for whatever the cause is, and 2, to get people together. People tend to give up an afternoon to come golfing for some reason. And so, kind of just started with an idea. And then I reached out to the school. I wasn't really sure how we were going to involve the school, but I thought if we could do it around homecoming, and I'll be the first to admit, I'd never been back for a homecoming game until a couple years ago when we started the outing. And I thought, selfishly, it'd be a good way to get some of my buddies back and see some of my friends. And then on the flip side, then Ron brought up, hey, why don't we start up a scholarship? And it's kind of grown from there. This year, really excited because the outing's going to be on the same day as the game. And so In the past, it's been on Fridays. People have tough schedules to make it, but it's going to be a lot more fun this year. We might have to cage us in at the game, but I'm really looking forward to that. In continuing the commitment that we've made to the school, and I know Aaron's family, and we're really excited because the scholarship just got funded. And I was just talking to Ron that we're going to pick our first recipient, coming into the fall. So very excited for that. A couple other things I wanted to touch on. I talked about I didn't come back here for homecoming until we started the scholarship, and I always got, and I'm really talking to students here, because when you get older, you're going to look back. There's always going to be a new experience in your life, but when you meet the girl or the guy or your dreams, like, you're going to remember that. When you get married for the first time, or you have your first kid or your second kid, or you get your dream job or something like that, you're always going to look back at college, though. College is always going to come up. Every single person you meet, where'd you go to college? What'd you study in college? That's when you go on a job interview, that's like one of the things they're going to ask you. But all the memories that you're creating now, that school is giving you those memories. Your teachers are giving you those memories. The students are giving you those memories. And every time in your whole life, if you've been giving something, what do? You give back. I mean, your parents gave you food, gave you a place to live. You give them their thanks. You take out the trash. Well, the college is no exception. And I wish I would have realized that sooner, because as soon as you graduate is your time to start giving back to the college that you went to. So whether it's $5, $10, $20, or coming back and volunteering, I guarantee the faculty in this room will find something for you to do. I don't care if you go to work for Marathon or if you're a coach somewhere, I guarantee that they'll find something for you to do. And giving back doesn't always have to be money, although it helps. Like the president said, we're trying to help make school affordable still, and it's not a cheap school, but guess what? It's also not a cheap education. So I highly encourage you, as you graduate, to start that give back process a lot faster than I did. It'll, in all reality, you should. I mean, you just should. It just should be part of, I'm graduating, I'm going to give back somehow. And a couple other things, so I don't bore you too much. I talked about how this is going to be an experience that you're going to go back and you're going to talk to your friends or wherever. And I think that more so than Tiffin, we have small classes, you get that one-on-one interaction with your teachers. This is like a great school now. Like, compared to when I went here, and I'm sure the education's even better, but we've got really cool stuff now. I mean, talking about our facilities, and I'm really happy. My little cousin, he's like my second or third cousin, is going to come play football here, and I was proud to bring him back and show this place off. I mean, Jeremy can tell you, when we went here, you'd bring some buddies up for a visit, especially in athletics, you want to see what the facilities were, and you show them the gym, and you show them the stadium that we share with the high school, and we go to the practice field. But now, you really have something to be proud of, and you should be really glad that you picked TU or they picked you. And I also want to thank the rest of the donors in the room, because like they said before, without you, this really wouldn't be possible. I was fortunate to tap into some of the scholarships when I was here, on top of my football scholarship, and I wouldn't have been able to get out of school what I did, and not having too much crazy debt leaving college if it wasn't for people like you. So thank you very much.
Bobby, we like to say you guys built the foundation of what's here today, so you and Jeremy. Now I'd like to bring up Joe Boric, our Director of the Annual Fund, and Andrea Faber, our Director of Financial Aid. And what we're going to do is, as I said earlier, we're going to bring you guys up and take some photos with you. And this is our way of thanking you. This is our way of handing you something tangible that you can put the photo on the wall. You can have the photo somewhere where you realize these are the students whose lives we are impacting. So, Joe and Andrea.
Okay, Andrea and I are going to recognize the scholarships, the donors that are present, and the students who are receiving those scholarships. So as we read your name or your group of scholarship, we'll have you come up to either side. Jason will help you get set up on which side you're going to get a group photo so we can give them to the donors that are here and then the donors who are maybe somewhere else that we can mail off to them. So the first up will be the ABI Food Service Scholarship.
Awarded to Talita Avis, Jesse Babcock, Corey Frey, Haley Hill, and Madison Torrio. They can come up here.
Come on up. The next is the Ivan and Maxine Cole Scholarship.
Awarded to Andrew Homan, Kylie Stocker, and Dakota Vance.
Next is the Harold and Bremma Colvin Scholarship.
Awarded to Aaron Brooks and Quentin Fleming.
Next is the Criminal Justice and Social Sciences Scholarship.
Awarded to Taylor Carter.
Next is the Dr. Kenneth Cummins Endowed Scholarship.
Awarded to Kendall Morrow.
The A. Robert and Luana Fleet Endowed Memorial, represented today by Fran Fleet.
Awarded to Richard Fox, Heather Gershutz, Alyssa Gibson, Andrew Homan, Kylie Stocker, Dakota Vance, and Amanda Zack.
The Frank Heminger Endowed Scholarship in Corporate Leadership.
Awarded to Alexander Acree.
The Roland W. Friedley Farmers State Bank Memorial Scholarship, represented today by Blythe Friedley.
Awarded to Jesse Babcock, Morgan Daniel, Stephen Mate, Ryan Paul, and Madison Zelms.
Jason, have Blythe. The Michael D. Gallardo Endowed Scholarship in Entrepreneurial Studies.
Awarded to Alicia McCrae.
The Gar Foundation Endowed Scholarship.
Awarded to Jamal Afzal, Alexis Cloud, Kaylee Gordon, Emily Leimbach, Melody Lumpkin, Justin Moscone, and Kelsey Santiago.
The Mildred Hankey Scholarship.
Awarded to Richard Fox, Alyssa Gibson, Haley Hill, Andrew Homan, Nathan Ryder, and Alana Woodman.
The Valerie Ann Hartman Perkins Memorial Fund.
Awarded to Sarah Tyson.
The David and Patty Hayes MBA Gateway Endowed Scholarship.
Awarded to Megan Tarasevich.
The Home Savings Charitable Foundation Annual Scholarship.
Awarded to Zeppelin Schindorf and Benjamin Watts.
The Dr. and Mrs. Prasad Cacarella Endowed Scholarship.
Awarded to Taylor Carter.
The Marathon Memorial Annual Scholarship, represented today by Dr. Sharon Perry Fantini.
Awarded to Jesse Babcock, Adrian Hutchins, and Alicia McCrae.
The John and Joyce Miller Scholarship, represented today by Tom Miller, Dr. John Miller, and Joyce Miller.
Awarded to Tiffany Bragg and Madison Zelms.
The Orville and Irma Yoder Payne Memorial Scholarship, represented today by Susie Payne.
Awarded to Alex Tabel.
The Ernst Seelig Law Enforcement Endowed Scholarship.
Awarded to Brandon Weller.
The Daisy and Frederick Stone Scholarship.
Awarded to Caitlin Smith.
The Study Abroad Annual Scholarship, represented today by Dr. Teresa Schaefer and Dr. John Appel.
Awarded to Rachel Boudet, Jennifer Cologne, Adam Horniak, and Sarah Zambo.
The Tiffin Women's Club Endowed Scholarship, represented today by Janet Booth and Elaine Barth.
Awarded to Ashley Broadman.
The James Todd Memorial Scholarship, represented today by Mimi Todd and Claire Todd.
Awarded to Brandon Weller.
The TU General Annual Scholarship.
Awarded to Kersha Fields.
The TU General Endowment.
Awarded to Craig Thompson Jr. and Faith Molnar.
The Edward J. Worling Jr. Endowed Scholarship in Human Resources.
Awarded to Bill McCaig.
The Wayne and Virginia Kurtz Zahn Scholarship.
Awarded to Taylor Dietrich, Valentina Diaz, Kyle Durham, Grant Eckelberry, Noah Hurd, Noah Click, Taylor Nip, Garrett Kotosopoulos, Nicholas Mon, Anthony Modeka, Alexa Norton, and Jacob Peabody.
The 50-Year Class Scholarship.
Awarded to Jalen Santoro.
We'd also like to recognize a couple of donors that are here today for their donation to scholarships. From the DeLuca Grandillo Endowed Scholarship, Nancy Grandillo. Thank you. And obviously from the Aaron Syack Memorial Scholarship, Bobby Petrus.